welcome to the Previously On podcast. I'm Jillian Benani, and joining me once again, a man who is learning to speak Finnish. It's my husband, Tyler Branch.
Tervetuloa podcastin.
What was that? What does that mean? What are you saying?
I think that was welcome to the podcast, but I don't know. I really don't know.
You got to work on your Finnish.
Who knew there'd be so much Finnish in this show?
Never would have guessed that. Like, if you would have told me that, I would have been like, absolutely not. If a tarot card reader told me that, I would have said, no way is there going to be Finnish in School Spirits Season 3.
And you love a tarot card reading.
I do. They're always right, I believe.
You know, this was an episode about everyone's worst nightmare when you take a doppelganger to prom.
Well, that's better than not having a date to prom, okay?
You know, you make a good point.
Yeah.
Let's not get into your sob story.
I would have loved to take a doppelganger to prom.
Any man, dead or alive.
Yeah. Whoever's calling. All right. Well, today we're talking about Season 3, Episode 5 of School Spirits called Raiders of the Lost Scar. The title is a play on the Indiana Jones movie Raider of the Lost Ark. And Wally was really living out those adventure hero fantasies that he had, which I was loving. I love it when really Wally's the hero.
I thought for a second we were going to get him to just somehow find one of those Indiana Jones hats and put it on, you know? He's running around with that robe. Like, yeah.
That would have been really fun. Yeah.
I thought we'd get more references. I think that was a big movie when he died.
Oh, was it?
I think Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark was early 80s. Yeah.
All right. Enough about Wally and his action movies. We're going to recap the app. We're breaking everything down that happened. We actually watched this episode twice because the first time we watched, we felt like, you know, it's meandering a little bit. We're going from Harvest Festival to the hellhole to the hospital. But then on the
it
rewatch,
opens with Simon and Wide Eyes and ends with Simon and Wide Eyes. So we were like, wow, this is kind of just meandering back to where we were.
But then on the rewatch, we realized you really do get some answers to a lot of the questions that we had.
I agree with that.
It just requires the thing with this show is at the end they reveal a lot, so you need to go back and watch to see what are those clues to the answers that you just got.
That's true. The problem is, because the show is always going to be asking you more questions, but you actually do get some answers along the way to what you had from the last step.
Well, you kind of realize what's important and what we're focusing on.
Yeah.
So today our top 5 is going to be top 5 answers we got in App 5. Yep. And then, of course, we will be giving our best theories, our best predictions on
I got
what
a lot
we
of
think
theories
is going to happen next.
I think that's going to be the biggest section because I wrote down so many theories now. As we're going into these last 3 apps, I feel like there's a lot they're setting up for this final runway.
We're ready to throw a lot at the wall when it comes to the theories and predictions. So get ready for that.
We'll just do another podcast next week if we're wrong.
And please, if you haven't already, subscribe, follow our podcast, give us 5 stars, like our video, share with friends. We would love it. It all really does help. All right. So to episode 5 of School Spirits, Tyler, why don't you give us a little recap so we remember everything that happened?
No problem. I wrote a recap, as I tend to do for this show, because holy cow, so much happens.
Well, I need a reminder as we're doing
I need
this.
a reminder just to do the podcast. All right, even though we watched it twice. But here it is. Episode 5, Raiders of the Lost Scar. When we last left our heroes, they found out that the school was built on land where a church was destroyed by the Split River flood that killed 9 people, including 8 children. Simon, who was exploring the hole under Mr. Martin's scar, was grabbed by a giant creature called Wide Eyes. We opened this episode with Simon in a Wide Eyes mind meld, seeing visions of the church children singing in the church basement in what appears to be the moments right before the flood hits. The School Spirits crew goes back down into the hellhole together without Simon, and things get really scary. It goes full haunted house. They all escape, but Mr. Martin stays down there. Maddie's scar-like visions continue in the real world. Maddie's ghost dad reveals that when spirits' buildings are destroyed, they are trapped in limbo for eternity. That's what the Forgotten is. And meanwhile, the school is hosting a harvest festival, and Dr. Hunter Price narrates a puppet show portraying Alfred Van Heidt, who died in the old church and is a hero to the town now. The tarot card reader tells Maddie, Claire, and Nicole that Van Heidt murdered the children in the church. Maddie briefly loses and finds her backpack again at the festival. Simon goes back down into the hellhole and mind melds with Wide Eyes again. Quinn tries to hit Wide Eyes with a wooden board, but knocks out Simon instead. Rhonda and Quinn finally kiss each other. Xavier finds Tracey at the festival, who hospital ghost Kyle had asked to prom before he died, only for Tracey to reveal to Xavier that she did go to prom with Kyle, but he wasn't the same guy she'd known before the bus accident.
Huh.
Whew. And that's everything that happened in episode 5.
Woo! A lot happened.
Yeah,
They've
it was a lot.
really built completely new storylines now,
I
which is
know.
exciting because I do think it goes along with what was happening in season 2. But we got a lot of new characters. We have history of the town going on.
Yeah.
We have hellholes filled with people in multiple locations, maybe.
Yeah.
So there really is a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. And we got a harvest festival.
I was going to say, and we got a lovely harvest festival, which really reminded me of Gilmore Girls. Anytime there's a harvest festival, I just think about Gilmore Girls.
Great decor. Had the little street signs showing you where everything was to get to the tarot card reading. And
yeah, quite the festival.
And also, you know, the show's just continuing a lot of the horror tropes that it's been doing all season. Like, there are some scary moments in this app once again. You know, Simon goes back and watches that old horror movie, and they're making references to that.
I did not like that movie. That seemed really scary.
It was basically
honestly.
where a guy is able to put his visions from his head into his therapist's head and like can torture her. Seemed scary.
Not for
Never
me.
seen it. The Cinder.
I won't be watching. That might be a little too scary for me. Well, and a lot of the horror stuff too is with Maddie, who is still not okay. She's not sleeping. She's looking up Alice in Wonderland syndrome. She's getting
Never
visions.
a good sign when your search history is, do I have Alice in Wonderland syndrome? Everything okay?
I looked this up. This is what Alice in Wonderland syndrome is. A rare neurological disorder causing temporary distorted perceptions of size, distance, and time. Symptoms include feeling body parts are shrinking, growing, altered time perception, and detached sensations.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, but for Maddie, she really is Alice. Like, she did go through these experiences and is dealing with the aftermath of being back in the real world. But I think something's actually happening to her. I don't think it's all in her head. Like,
I think she thinks it is, but I do think it's real. It's happening. Or it's visions. I don't think Simon fell onto her car, which that was scary.
That was a real jump scare horror moment. The visions are getting more violent. And
they are.
Scarier.
They're getting much scarier.
Like, it started with like her carpet was wet, and now it's like dead Simon's being thrown on the hood of your truck. Like,
Simon's screaming on the radio. Yeah,
it's getting pretty scary. And like, you made that great video where you're pointing out the like aspect ratio, and so we were really watching for that this time. And whenever that happens, basically, do you want to just say your theory again in case someone didn't see the show so bad?
Yeah. So basically, when a character is in a scar, the aspect ratio changes. You get little black bars on the top and the bottom. And we also get these bars when Maddie is having her visions. So we think it is her being pulled back into her scar.
Yeah, because it's basically, it seems to be that the way the show is shooting things and giving us information, it's showing us that it's the same thing. There's no visual difference between Maddie's visions and being in a scar. Yeah. So that makes us think it's real. It's not just in her head. And I will say, when she was having that radio, that like Simon calling out from the radio, and then you thought she snapped out at it. I almost knew something was about to happen because I was like, the black bars haven't gone away. And then
Yeah.
Simon comes just slamming onto the hood of the truck.
Yeah, she's in these, I know I don't want to call it visions, but she is having these episodes for longer now. They seem longer, they seem more
They did seem to go on
intense.
longer.
And I think the key is somebody has to be able to pull her out of it. So Xavier's been there a lot to be able to pull her out of it. Now she has her rubber band that she's using, which seems to be helping. But it's almost like something from the real world has to pull her out of this.
Yeah, the rubber band was interesting. It was like an Inception where he has to like spin
Yeah.
the thing. You have to have like that anchor to the real world to like pull you out of your dream. But it seems like it's getting harder for her to come out of them.
Yeah, they're getting scarier.
I thought a big theme of this ep was erasing the past.
Yes, definitely.
I thought that seemed to be just a massive theme of like the tarot card reader was talking about this of like the town is like forgotten and wants to forget us and we won't let them. And, you know, obviously we were coming into this episode trying to figure out who the forgotten are. And then, you know, we're finding out that like Simon's maybe not fully honest about his past. And
that's true. Yeah.
You know, Dr. Hunter Price keeps saying like progress. You can't dwell on, like we've got to like, she wants to destroy the past. She's telling Maddie like, don't you want to destroy this school that you have a past with that's holding this over you?
And Tracey's trying to forget her past too at prom. Like everyone's kind of trying to just move on, not think about things and move forward. But as we've learned, the only way forward is through.
The only way forward is through. I think it's a great point.
That was a big theme in the last season of the show. And I think it's kind of a theme of this entire series, really.
Yeah. And one more person trying to forget the past is Rhonda, where she says that to Quinn of like, oh, today's today. That was yesterday. Like Rhonda's very much about trying to ignore her own trauma and pain that happened to her in her death. And, you know, everyone's doing it. This whole thing, this whole app, everyone's erasing the past.
Yeah.
Let's not look at it. I think it might be a comment on America. I don't know.
I think this show is saying a lot, definitely.
About repeating. Yeah. I mean, they even say in this episode, you have to learn history so you don't repeat it.
Yeah. And we get into a lot of history in this episode too, and the history of this town, and some shady things were going down.
And maybe the history you learned isn't exactly the real history.
Yeah. People love to keep unsavory things hidden from their history, for sure.
I mean, no one knew about this church thing.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like it's that big of a town. This didn't happen in like the 1700s. I mean...
It basically seems like they really wanted the church land so they could do this Split River thing for some reason. Maybe they knew that the way they were going to do it was going to cause flooding or something, or maybe they needed it for some other reason. Maybe there was something valuable by the church that they wanted. But whatever the reason, it did seem like they were trying to like bribe people at the church to get it because they find that ring and the offering plate and they talk about like a valuable heirloom. It did seem like this Alfred Van Heidt guy was just really dead set on getting rid of this church and owning that land.
Yeah, it seems like he wanted a lot of power in this town and was willing to do whatever it took to get it. And of course, now the story is being told as, oh, he was a hero for this town.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he was a terrible person. He might have locked these 8 kids singing inside the church.
Yeah, I mean, if you know the fortune teller's to be believed, it sounds pretty bad.
And I believe her. I believe that woman.
I know you do. It made me wonder if there was already something spiritual or supernatural on that land that the church was built on, because it could have been Alfred Van Heidt really wanted this land because he needed it to split the river for some reason. But it also could be that he flooded it on purpose just so he could get the land.
Yeah.
And maybe there's something valuable to the land, and maybe there's something valuable that the people now who want to tear down the school want on that land.
Well,
Like
maybe it
that's
has to do
even older than the church, you know?
maybe it has to do with the Cornerstone.
That's a great point. Maybe that's not part of the church. That's part of something even older and ancient.
Which we didn't really get too much into the Cornerstone in this episode. They dropped a lot of lore on us in the last step. And we did get a lot of answers in this episode.
Yeah.
Not on the Cornerstone, but we got a lot of other answers. Let's talk about what we got. Our top 5 for this episode is top 5 answers we got in episode 5.
Lay on the answers.
So number 5, the forgotten are spirits who are trapped because their ghostly home was destroyed.
Yes.
So they did really lay this out for us in this episode.
Yes. So we were talking about this, and we think that means that the people in the church who were killed probably are the forgotten. But also, there seemed to be another group of the forgotten at the hospital, right? Isn't that the way you took? Because we were hearing this from Xavier explain to Maddie what her dad said. And that seems to be how we both took it, right?
Yeah. Xavier tells Maddie outside of the hospital that there was a foundry there before the hospital and the foundry burned down or something like that. And they built the hospital on top of it. So it seems that there is a group of the forgotten in the hospital as well.
Yes.
Which connects the hospital with the school then. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, these are places where instead of the ghosts weren't remembered. The ghosts were erased and forgotten basically by progress, and new things built on them. And when that happens, you're just stuck in this limbo of being a forgotten ghost, forgotten to time.
And it seems like you're in that lower dimension.
And, it did make you wonder if it maybe go back to wondering if maybe now, we'll get into White Eyes at some point, but it did make me wonder if once they're forgotten, maybe they do lose some of this immortality to their bodies. We don't know. We're not quite sure.
That's
on
a good point.
But
basically, if you are trapped in a building as a ghost and that building gets bulldozed, you're screwed.
It's not great. You gotta get that. You gotta hit that exit door before the building's gone.
Yeah, you gotta figure out how to get that exit door.
No lollygagging on the exit door. Get out of there.
Which I gotta say, some of these ghosts are lollygagging on their exit door.
Wally,
let's remember that.
Get on out of there.
Yeah,
you're gonna be trapped forever if they destroy the school.
Yeah, get out of there like Janet did. Janet, that was the smartest thing she ever did.
I got to say, Maddie, though, bouncing around telling everyone all this information and being like, I don't know how I'm going to tell the ghosts. And I'm like, do you not remember you were just a ghost 2 days ago? They might be right over your shoulder, Maddie.
They can hear you, Maddie, and they're everywhere.
You
they're
don't remember how this
around.
Works? Well, Maddie's not getting a lot of sleep, so I don't know.
She's tired.
She's tired.
All right, number 4 in our top 5 answers we got in App 5. Simon's rosary beads were his birth mother's. This was quite a reveal. We learned a lot about Simon this episode.
Yep.
He lied to Maddie.
Again.
He never got in touch with his sister. Complete lie.
He didn't talk to that sister. He's lying to his parents. He lied to Maddie again. It just makes it, I think it's adding to when you start to think about it, and you're like, wow, I really know nothing about Simon. Yeah. And it makes us want to keep digging deeper into what is Simon's backstory here. He's adopted. A sister reached out. He never talked to. And now his mom died after birth at that hospital. Yeah.
So it seems, because the rosary beads were at the hospital, he said.
Yeah. So I think this squarely put our focus on Simon, as something's going on here with Simon.
I do like hearing more about his backstory, because we didn't really get that before in other seasons. We kind of knew more about Nicole and her home life than we have about Simon. And Simon's
And
Maddie's best friend. So
Claire's
I'm glad that we're
parents who
finally
won't let her-
getting there. Yeah.
And Claire's parents who won't let her come home.
Right. Like we know more about Claire than we do about Simon. So I'm glad that we're getting there with him.
They kind of kept us distracted with how busy Simon was doing tasks those first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
For us to sit and wonder what's going on with him.
And now I'm wondering what's going on with Simon.
I think they want
I got
you to
a lot of
wonder now.
questions. Yeah. So that's exciting. I'm glad he's kind of in the forefront this season.
Yeah.
All right, number
I got a
3.
whole list of theories on Simon coming up.
Everybody stay tuned we do have a whole section on theories on Simon. You're right.
We got to hurry through this. I got to get to my theories.
All right, number 3 in our top 5 answers we got this episode. Number 3, White Eyes is communicating with Simon. He
That's
is
true.
sending memories in a mind meld.
Yeah.
Sending
Star
them with
Trek
his
style.
mind.
That was a Star Trek reference. How Spock and Vulcans will grab your face and
No,
share thoughts.
you're losing me. You're losing me.
No, I thought that was interesting because we didn't know what White Eyes was up to when he grabbed Simon's face
Yeah.
last week, and that was concerning. We were worried for his safety, but it seems like White Eyes, I will say, hasn't harmed anyone. White Eyes is just trying to communicate with Simon, trying to
Yes.
show Simon something.
I don't think he means harm. I think he really does just want to communicate.
That's what it appears so far. Because when you
What
really nail it
Mr. Martin
down-
is saying too, of let's not attack, let's try and find some answers here.
Yeah. But I mean, we've got theories on White Eyes, but I think we could both say that we're pretty skeptical that that's Alfred Van Heidt, even though
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm
some of
quite
the show-
skeptical.
some of the show's editing, I feel like, tried to make you think that, but I'm just like, it doesn't sound at all like the character that has been described by these people. Like,
No.
White Eyes does not seem that violent. White Eyes just seems kind of scary looking.
Yeah, he's scary looking, but honestly, he's been kind of sweet.
He's a sweetie pie.
White Eyes is just a
Those
little
milky
sweetie
white
pie.
eyes. You get lost
He's
in
just
them.
stuck in that hole. He hasn't seen anybody in a long time.
He's like, visitors, let me grab your face.
Yeah, he's like, let me show you something. And then it shows the saddest memory I've ever seen of these children singing and then being locked in this church.
Why does it seem
Horrifying.
that bad? He's just a Debbie Downer.
He's just been through a lot.
Yeah. Brings up sad stuff. And whenever we saw that puppet show that Jennifer Tilly was doing, I got to say, when they show, she said she's not a historian, but when they show Alfred Van Heidt, it looks nothing like White Eyes. It looks like a more stocky guy with a gigantic mustache.
Yes.
And that does not look like this Slender Man creature of White Eyes.
Well, maybe he lost some weight down in that hole. We don't know.
He's on Ozempic down there.
I do agree, though. They looked very different, and they gave us a close-up of that puppet for a reason. They wanted us to see what the
I
puppet
would
looked
think
like.
so. Yeah.
So we're skeptical on White Eyes.
Yeah.
Not-
You think he's a sweetie pie?
We think he's a sweetie pie, but we're skeptical that it's Alfred.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. And I don't know if a lot of people caught this one. Ralph is down in the hellhole. Okay, we confirmed this. We compared screenshots. We brought the receipts, proof, timeline. That is Ralph, that translucent child that Quinn saw down there.
Hiding under a blanket. Yeah.
Yes.
And pops his head out.
Told her to give a shh.
Yep.
Seems scared. It's Ralph, guys.
It is Ralph. You had me go back and screenshot both apps, and that's that boy that was struck by lightning. That's Ralph.
Mr. Martin's long lost friend.
So we were right that Ralph was trapped in this world, which we did suspect. We just thought, maybe there's a chance Ralph is White Eyes, but it certainly doesn't appear that way now.
It doesn't.
But it is interesting because with the song that all the kids were singing at the beginning of this episode is the same song that lured Mr. Martin down in that hole to begin with, that he said when he was telling the story, that's the song Ralph would always sing. And it's a traditional Finnish song.
Wow. That's
so all
good
the
stuff.
kids are singing it. It's called, if the English translation of the song is "The Sky is Blue and White."
Oh, interesting.
Seems kind of cheerful. Yeah.
It does seem cheerful. It's interesting, though, that Ralph was always singing that because then that black cloud came over him and he was struck by lightning.
Yeah. It wasn't blue and white that day.
Sadly, it wasn't. Poor
Shouldn't
Ralph.
have cut through the graveyard. Shouldn't have cut through the graveyard, Ralph. You've been stuck down there bored for a century now.
Well, I wonder who pulled him in there. Was it White Eyes?
I don't know. I mean,
is White Eyes pulling people into this hellhole?
Simon accused White Eyes of pulling him in there, but I'm not quite sure what his evidence is of that White Eyes is pulling all the strings here.
The way we are defending White Eyes in this episode.
Big White Eyes defenders.
What is going on? I think we're like, don't judge a book by its cover. Just because he has white eyes and no pupils doesn't mean he's a bad person.
And his skin is falling off of his skeleton. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, guys.
Seems like a nice guy.
He could be nice. He could just be lonely down there. He's stuck there with Ralph. But does anyone know Ralph's there? Is Ralph just hiding under that blanket the whole time?
I was even whenever I saw him, like they show White Eyes like snarling. I was like, I don't know. Maybe he's just sniffing. Maybe he's like using his senses here. Maybe he can't see out of those white eyes and is just using his senses. He's sniffing.
He needs a pair of glasses. He can't go to the eye doctor down there.
We're real White Eyes apologists.
All right, we are losing the plot. Okay, number 1 in our top 5 answers we got in Ep 5. This is a big one. Tracey is alive, but so is Kyle. Kyle survived the bus crash.
Wow. That was a great ending. I was like, what?
That was good. I did not see that coming.
It's got my mind racing. I mean, well, first of all, Xavier took his sweet time finding Tracey. I think Kyle asked to find Tracey like the first episode this season. And Xavier's
how many days has passed? Like 3?
I was thinking about that today. I was like, how much time's passed? I don't
Not
guess
much.
that much. They had the detention day.
It's been like less than a week.
They had that first day. Yeah,
this was
true.
not a top priority for Xavier to find Kyle's long lost love.
I think Xavier was a little bit, Kyle, you've been waiting for 20 years. You can wait a few more days.
And little did we know, this was the key to a lot of information. This was shocking. And doppelgangers are back. We're back in the
Doppelganger alert.
I love it. I love that we're back body swapping. Because I love that we're referencing season 2 with this.
Yeah. It opened up my mind because we had seen Janet do this, and then we saw Mr. Martin use Janet's technique to jump into Mr. Anderson's body. And I didn't really think other people were doing this because, again, we hadn't really seen any adults at the school. And this really made me wonder how many doppelgangers are out there walking around. Like, it's like,
I know.
And it made you really wonder about this Alfred Van Heidt guy of like, was he just trying to like jump into bodies? Like there really is just a lot going on here now because I think we both assume that Kyle's body was taken over by Alfred Van Heidt. This guy who seems to be so evil.
It seems to be that way because the way Tracey was talking about him, it was bad. She was horrified by him. Mm-hmm. She crosses the street to get away from him if she sees him today.
He was a nice guy, a sweet guy. They were friends. He asked her to prom. They have the bus accident. And then she called him like a swaggering asshole.
Yeah. Sounds like Alfred to me.
It does sound more that way. So
Alfred's
that's interesting.
just causing all this destruction. Like, what's he doing out there in Kyle's body? It can't be good. This is a bad guy.
It made me think of just like maybe there are other things going on in this town that are the doppelgangers doing it or spirits taking over bodies.
Yeah. We're back in the Twin Peaks of it all, I feel like.
It is kind of Twin Peaksy. I was thinking that like this, spoiler alert for Twin Peaks, but there is a situation at the end of season 2 in Twin Peaks where, someone's body is taken over by a doppelganger who then exists in that body for like 20 some years, just causing havoc, just doing terrible things.
Well, and
And I thought this
Kyle
was
has
interesting.
been dead, putting that in quotes, dead for 20 years.
Yeah.
I like that we're bringing Kyle into the forefront of the story now because I do really like that character. It's interesting.
And while we were on Twin Peaks, I just wanted to mention one thing I think is interesting is in Twin Peaks, when you see a doppelganger in the Red Room, which is like their spirit world, their eyes are white. Just thought that was interesting.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just an homage, but this is a show that's been interested in Twin Peaks and being like having a conversation with Twin Peaks. So
Yeah.
just made me think about that.
No, that's a good point. Some honorable mentions for our top 5. We had a sweet moment between Quinn and Rhonda, and they like each other. I do love Rhonda opening up to Quinn in this scene too, of talking about how she hasn't kissed anyone in 62 years.
62 years. That's her first smooch.
She doesn't want to get close to people. It's
That
so
was sad.
Rhonda's story just like breaks me down every episode because it's so sad. But I'm so happy that Rhonda and Quinn have each other now.
Yeah, and I liked Quinn being so like forward and
Me
like,
too.
not backing down. Rhonda can shut people down, and I like Quinn just being like, "No, I meant it. Like I wanted to kiss you." And
Quinn
it's been
was
fun
very
to watch all
honest.
these characters. It's been fun to watch all these characters come out of their shell. You know, Yuri was trapped in that room forever. Rhonda hadn't kissed someone in 62 years. Quinn was out there marching around like just a week or two ago.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
It's nice people are out and about living their lives in their death.
We're getting a lot of character development this season with every character, which has been great to see in between all the madness and the running around and trying to solve stuff. They're still making that time to show that these characters are growing and moving forward, which is nice. So that was a sweet moment.
Yeah, agreed. All right, we get into theories.
Let's get into the theories because we got a lot of them. We're just throwing stuff at the wall with some of these.
Throwing it at the wall. Throwing it at the.
It's not
at
fun
the wall
where all those
throwing
it.
Where all those cave paintings of blood are.
Yeah.
Just throwing it at that wall. Throwing stuff at it and see what sticks.
That's how we should present our theories next week, just with drawings.
Write them in fake blood on the wall.
Yeah. Little stick figures, you know.
Yeah. What did you think of that, of Simon suddenly being up on the wall there with those, I don't know. Everyone else looked more like stick figures, and then he looked like an actual, like, drawing.
I mean, it feels like there's a reason why it's Simon, why Simon got pulled down there.
Makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
All right, we'll get to Simon in just a second. My first theory, we already talked about. Alfred Van Heidt got out, found his way out of being the Forgotten. I think it seems like Alfred Van Heidt was trapped down there in that church basement, you know, was just was just forgotten and was trying to find ways out of this. And somehow figured out this puddle thing and was able to get out of there. And so I think it seems like whenever Mr. Martin went through that puddle to, you know, cause the bus accident, it was also Alfred Van Heidt going through there and taking over Kyle's body.
Well, and I wonder, in that experiment of going through the puddle, which is basically a portal, did he cause some of these other deaths at this school? Because
that's interesting.
Mr. Martin caused the bus accident by going through the puddle, and Wally caused an accident with Mr. South. I mean, he didn't die, but if Alfred is trying to do whatever he can to get out of the hellhole, he's going through that portal multiple times, I'm guessing.
He might be trying to jump into bodies left and right.
Yeah. And then somehow he got into Kyle's body. Maybe the puddle left him out in the hospital. Yeah. There's got to be some kind of connection between the school and the hospital that we don't know yet.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to be 100% he's in Kyle's body, but we really suspect it.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. I don't know who
Yeah.
else would be in Kyle's body at this point.
Yeah. And, the fortune teller basically said that that he believed that killing the children in the church would break the town's spirit and get these people to leave so he could just take over all this. But they didn't leave. But it makes you wonder if someone had that attitude, maybe he still believes killing children will like break the spirit of this town and get rid of these people. And maybe he's been doing that from the afterlife. And maybe that's why so many kids are dying at this school.
Yeah. I mean, we need to answer why so many kids are dying at this school. And yes, I think some are accidents. I think Wally's was the circumstance. But
Wally playing
Rhonda's
football.
yeah.
Wally playing football did seem to be the pressure of his mom wanting him to play football, coming full circle, him getting injured and dying. And if Wally's is an actual accident, it makes sense that his exit door is open because he's kind of reckoned with everything with his death.
But then some of the other deaths, Rhonda strangled by her guidance counselor.
That one's suspicious.
I'm sorry. Was Alfred in the guidance counselor's body?
Did he take over that guidance counselor's body and kill Rhonda? Wow. That is the big bad of this show. If this guy was like killing the people that we met from the very beginning of this show.
I mean, I'm just wondering, and I feel like Jennifer Tilly even asked that question at the beginning of the season. Dr. Hunter Price said, this school is a death trap. Haven't you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
To the principal. And I think they want us questioning that.
I think they do,
I mean, Yuri locked in the greenhouse, peanut oil accident with Charlie. Like, it just, a lot of these seem very...
These are things you could see a montage of just this guy causing these things.
Well, and we find out that Mr. Martin caused the bus accident. So then that leads me to believe that Alfred or other people could have played a part in some of these other deaths.
And it also makes sense of like when you think about what we know about that puddle of if
love that we're calling it the puddle.
But if Alfred Van Heidt is able to quickly appear somewhere else in the real world, you could make bad things happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like how Wally almost killed Mr. South.
Yeah.
Like you can quickly appear and do something.
Yeah, exactly. So you're telling me Alfred did nothing?
I think it's interesting. I also think Mr. South's, I don't think we've seen the last of Mr. South. I'm still keeping my eye on Mr. South.
I still think he's like a key player in all this.
I think there are answers to be had from Mr. South, the janitor.
Well, and they keep kind of bringing up his name in episodes too. Have you noticed
never
that?
Forget about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also was wondering with all these doppelgangers running around, is Dr. Hunter Price, Jennifer Tilly, possessed by some kind of spirit? Is that why she's so laser focused on that? I don't know.
I'm wondering that too. I had the same thought because she also just seems like this kind of crazy out there character. Like something feels off with her. And she seems to know a lot of things and is really trying to bulldoze this school.
Yeah. I mean, she's a superintendent who is borderline threatening Maddie.
Yeah.
Who's narrating a puppet show about how great Alfred Van Heidt is. What kind of superintendent's narrating puppet shows?
I know.
And I think sometimes to that, it was in the trailer and it's been shown in a lot of previous seasons is Dr. Hunter Price going, shh. And it just makes me think, shush, there's a secret with her. Shush, quit talking about the past.
Yeah.
Quit looking into things. Do what I say.
And she's trying to bulldoze this school quickly. And if she was actually just a superintendent and that's it, la-di-da, you're not really bulldozing the full school. Like, it's a weird plan. So something is going on with it.
Something's going on, as we like to say.
Something's going on with Dr. Hunter Price.
Something's going on in Split River. Named after the terrible tragedy where 8 children died. Great name for a town.
So dark. Well, now I'm just under the assumption that a lot of adults are body swapping.
Everyone's body swapping. Doing it these days.
Everybody's body swapping. It's the new trend.
Yeah.
We also have Dave and Kyle's mission at the hospital.
Oh yeah, we never found out what that is, right? They say like Dave talks Kyle into going on a mission with him at the hospital, but we never see them again, I don't think.
No, they left it at that. I'm thinking they're trying to find the hospital forgotten.
That probably makes sense. Maybe they can get some answers if they could go talk to the Forgotten down in the foundry, down in the foundry.
I need some answers.
They got to get past that nurse, though. That nurse and her cigarette seems to be guarding the foundry.
She's a good guard, that's for sure.
Yeah. How many do you think she's putting away a day? I mean, she seems
I gotta
like
say, though,
maybe a carton a day. Like she's going through it.
I mean, if I was a ghost, I'd be smoking too. Why not?
What am I going to do? Die again?
Right. Like that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
But she doesn't seem to be having fun down there. So I'd like to find out more about the hospital. I need to know about the hospital forgotten. And is there a portal between the school and the hospital somehow?
You really want that to come together.
Well, it really does feel like we're going to get Maddie to see her dad at some point. And not just talk to him through Xavier, but Maddie and the dad have to like see each other.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of have been wondering if Maddie getting these visions is her breaking down the boundary between the spirit world and the real world. If like something about her being in there, breaking down the veil, that her going into her scar, her coming back out, that like, I'm wondering if she's going to maybe have the power to go back and forth between them at some point. And if that happens, I think she's going to do everything she can to bring her dad back out in the real world.
That's interesting. Yeah. I wonder. The dad just like, this is Maddie's dad.
Yeah.
More has to happen with him.
Yeah.
So I like that theory of her breaking down the veil and bringing her dad back to life. The veil is very Vampire Diaries. So I am loving that. This was a big storyline on the Vampire Diaries.
It's going to be like, letterbox view on, black bars, top and bottom. Come with me, Dad.
Yeah.
She's going to be doing that at some point, I wonder. I also am wondering if this is all heading towards some big standoff in the finale of Wally's exit door and the school being about to be destroyed. You know what I mean? Of Wally having to choose, like, you're going to be with the Forgotten because the bulldozers are coming for the school, coming for the football field at least, you know? Because they could start out there, like the bulldozers coming towards that football field. Is Wally going to go through that exit door or stay? That seems like tough.
Who do you think Maddie would rather save, Wally or her dad, if she could only pick one?
I don't know. You know, I think she's having Wally's ghost baby, so.
I think she might be
the baby needs a ghost dad.
Wally. Come on,
ghost
Wally.
Baby needs a ghost dad.
Oh my God. I do love that every guy on this show seems to be in love with Maddie. Wally,
true. Oh my
Xavier,
gosh. It was
Simon.
Like, is Xavier going back to like be, I guess y'all were together a month ago in the Showtime, but it feels like ancient history, but
I know.
I don't know.
It does.
I am just like, God, all these guys are obsessed with Maddie.
I mean, Xavier and Simon are going to be like, Wally, go through that door. Come on. Just go through the door. We got her.
I just want to sometimes be like, guys, Maddie is a lot. Like, I like Maddie, but like, Maddie, I don't know. She's got a lot going on, like a lot of baggage right now. I don't know if she's like really ready for a relationship at the moment. She just met her dad. Like, I don't know. It'd be like one of these guys, whatever happened to, Claire? Like, she seems nice. She knows Finnish. What are y'all doing?
Come on, Xavier. See Claire find some love.
He even had that thing with Nicole for a minute. I don't know what happened with that. I guess that was like a weekend
ended
flirtation.
That,
yeah. It was odd.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Simon, though.
We got to get to Simon.
Who is obsessed with Maddie, but in a platonic way.
Yeah. Well, not at one point, but I know.
People disagree with us on
that.
That.
You know what? That's what they
Although
want
you
us
and
to
I do
forget.
think the vibes were a little odd at the very beginning.
That's what they want us to forget. Some of the relationships in this show are the forgotten. They just want us to forget about it.
It was a dream. It was a dream.
Yeah.
All right. I think
Simon. Yeah, tell me your theory on Simon.
So I wondered, is Simon the child of a ghost? Is Simon...
Oh my God, the child of a ghost?
Yes. You know,
How
I'm
is that
obsessed
possible?
because he said his mom, he's brought up his mom died during birth.
Yeah.
And I don't think we heard anything about his dad. And I feel like it's going to come out that, you know, Xavier's going to go find that birth certificate or something in the hospital. And we're going to find out that there was no dad and that Maddie's was like, it was like, you know, immaculate conception, a Christ-like story for Simon. But it's not really like a God impregnated like his mom. It was like, I do wonder if like a ghost of some type.
Wow, this is really throwing something at the wall. Immaculate conception.
Just throwing stuff out here.
I don't hate it because like in a lot of horror movies, immaculate conception is a thing.
Oh yeah. Rosemary's Baby. We got all kinds of stuff.
So that's interesting. That does seem like in line a little bit with this show.
I think it would answer one of the big questions that you and I have brought up multiple times is we don't feel like the show fully explained why Simon could see Maddie.
Yeah.
Like all the way back in season 1. Why Simon was not dead. Like Maddie has been in this death world, like in the spirit world, has been in her scar, is back out in the real world. We understand why she can see them. Xavier died and like for a brief moment and came back and he can see them. But why could Simon see ghosts when he was in the real world? And it makes you wonder if there's some kind of connection he had. I mean, I guess it could just be his connection to Maddie was so strong, their friendship. But it does make you wonder if there's something supernatural about Simon.
And we all just assumed that is why Simon could see Maddie when she was a ghost. There really was no explanation. We all just kind of assumed because they're so close, that's why it could happen. Mm-hmm. And there was kind of like a throwaway line, I think, from Charlie or something. But you're right. We never got answers. So it might make sense as we're learning more about Simon's backstory that could come back up somehow.
Yeah, and I just think, you know, there's been the focus on the rosary beads. There was a convo between him and Nicole about like his strong like Catholic beliefs. Like, there's just been references to this like Christianity story with him that you wonder about now as you're finding that we don't have a lot of answers on where Simon came from. And it all seems kind of mysterious now. And that Wide Eyes was showing him his rosary beads when he was like, there's no way Wide Eyes, like those were never here. That was like something in the real world I got from my mom. How would Wide Eyes show me visions of my rosary beads? So there's clearly a connection between Wide Eyes and Simon or between the spirit world and Simon. I mean, let me just throw a few of them fast and furious. Is Simon's a ghost himself? Who was, you know, somehow came out into the world again anew, that Simon had a past life as a ghost. I think that could be a possibility. Which, if that's a possibility, you know, you'll wonder about Quinn hitting him in the head.
Yes, that's how the episode ends. And he kind of passes out.
He took a wallop to the head.
Yeah.
You wonder if he's okay, but it makes you wonder if maybe some memories are going to come back for Simon. Maybe some clarity is going to come. You know, that's a thing we do in TV shows when someone gets hit in the head sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's true.
Something's come back to me now. I think that, you know, there's Wide Eyes could be Simon's father somehow. I'm just throwing stuff out.
Yeah.
Here. Wide Eyes, I've said this before, could be Simon somehow. It could be his past life. Like that has been abandoned by his spirit or something. Could be a doppelganger of him, you know, which would explain the Wide Eyes thing I was bringing up about doppelgangers.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know.
I mean,
this is
yeah.
all stuff I'm throwing out. I don't have a strong belief, but I do feel like we have to start thinking something ghostly and supernatural is related to Simon and his birth.
I think so too, because they keep talking about his birth mom and his birth. We know that Simon's mom died while giving birth, and the hospital kept the rosary beads.
Mm-hmm.
So it does seem like she died in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So is she still in the hospital?
You're wondering, is Xavier going to see Simon's mom? He's talking to Maddie's dad. He's talking to Simon's mom. He's just going to be doing full like family therapy sessions here.
Okay, but now when you say it like that, I'm like, it would be weird if it's like Maddie's dad is in the hospital and Simon's mom.
No, maybe so.
I don't know. I just think that they made it a point of the hospital kept the rosary beads.
Mm-hmm.
Which is an interesting way to word that. So it makes me think that something is connected to the hospital ghosts here.
Yeah. Maybe Simon and Maddie are related. Maybe it's like...
No, we're not doing that.
Oh, okay.
oh, I don't know. I just meant I don't think the show's doing that. Not like we're not.
No, a secret related thing of just like, maybe that's why he could see her, because they actually are related somehow. That like Maddie's dad, or, even as a ghost somehow. Like, I don't know. There could be some connection there. But you're making me think, you keep bringing up the rosary. She could be walking around the hospital. No reason she's not, if it's that hospital. But also bringing up the rosary beads. Remember, they're doing the bells choir. And then they play the Exorcist theme. And I was like, oh, this is such a fun way for them to be able to play the Exorcist theme. But when they do that, then they cut back to Simon down in the hellhole of the scar.
Yeah.
And the Exorcist makes me think maybe her mom had rosary beads because she thought she was possessed by the devil, possessed by a spirit, and was trying to ward off bad spirits like an exorcism. A Rosemary's Baby / exorcist thing.
I could see that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's why she was holding these so closely even during his birth.
We need to get in touch with Simon's sister because she can provide a lot of these answers, it sounds like, because Simon is so worried that she hates him because their mom died giving birth to him. So she seems to then have been maybe a little older than Simon and remembers their mom. So I think she can provide a lot of these answers of, was she okay leading up to this? Was she possessed? Was she kind of going crazy? What was her mindset like?
Yeah.
So bring in the sister. But I don't think you're wrong on this exorcism thing. I don't think you're wrong. I think that's kind of where we're heading. There's rosary beads, a death, like it feels very exorcism like.
All right, just a couple more. These are it's almost thoughts more than theories at this point, but I do think no matter what we find out about White Eyes, I think he's the personification of trauma. And it's about just the trauma going on in this town and on this land and at this school. And the White Eyes with no pupil is like you're not seeing the truth. You're not seeing the past. I do think is kind of the visual representation of White Eyes.
Yeah, I like that thought because this show really does always go back to the trauma.
Yeah. What do you think Livia did with Maddie's backpack?
She took Simon's iPad for sure, or did something with it, texted his parents.
She's going to blow up his spot.
Yeah, she's going to do something.
Then she put it in the petting zoo? Brutal. What a mean girl.
Yeah, I know. Just Livia, you don't want to get involved in this anyways, just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
It's really crazy now that Simon's parents are just believing that he's at this lake house with his sister for so long. We did find out that Nicole did send the voicemail of the podcast. There was a brief line about that of like, oh no, the voicemail wasn't enough. And it's like, yeah, it probably sounded insane what your podcast added of him.
these kids are throwing stuff at the wall like we are.
Just like
Everyone's
us
just
and our
throwing
theories.
stuff at the wall right now. We don't know what to think. All right,
Yeah.
do you want to do your Tyler's takes?
Yeah, I got just a couple. I really don't have much because I mostly spend all my time on theories. But
Yeah. Well,
I do want to say
I think we got some of Tyler's takes in some of these theories.
I threw out a lot of theories here.
I
We'll edit
liked
this
it.
down to just whatever's right, if anything. We'll re-edit it next week. Music recitals as a teen boy, brutal to go through. It just was like Xavier just kept standing up being like, are we done? Like, I remember as a teenager having to go to my sister's dance recitals, and I genuinely thought, this is torture.
It's truly the worst.
We just don't have the attention span for it. We're restless. We got energy.
We don't. And I will say, though, I was once in a handbell performance.
You were?
School.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you played?
One night only, one performance. That was I don't remember what it was, but I did enjoy it. It was fun.
Let's put a video of you on YouTube playing the Exorcist theme.
Oh my God.
A handbell.
I feel like we did do a movie theme song for sure. And I think I was only good at it because I knew the song well. So I knew the beats of it.
I got to say, Dr. Hunter Price's plan would work on you. This new school, they said, as a putt-putt course, a wet sauna, an ice rink, a smoothie bar. You'd be like, sold. Yeah, let's forget the past.
Yeah, I'd say, we got to move forward, guys. Let's move on.
This new school seems great.
I need that smoothie bar. I need these amenities if I'm expected to be at school all day.
Yeah. And
I was loving that.
My last thing was we didn't hear more about the stone, the Cornerstone. So, but I think that's coming back.
Oh yeah.
I think the Cornerstone will be, I think maybe even the key to freeing the forgotten or to getting out of there somehow. But,
well, didn't they say the Cornerstone is trying to tell us something?
Yes.
So I think we'll get a lot of answers once we start going to the Cornerstone of what the actual history is, because this town is not telling us the real history.
White Eyes kind of looks like a cornerstone. Maybe he's just human cornerstone walking around.
Poor White Eyes. I'd love
Don't
to
judge
see
a book
him.
by its cover.
Don't judge a book. I'd love to see White Eyes navigating the real world, Just let's get him out of that hole. Let's dress him up, give him a little bit of a makeover.
In that portal. I promise you, that'll give Mr. South a heart attack. White Eyes appears in the real world for a second.
No, we need Mr. South. He's really the answer, I think, to a lot of things. So we got to keep that man alive. All right. I think we did it. What a great app. I'm loving this season so far. A lot of new things are coming up. It's been a fun season to watch.
It's fun. Can't wait to see next week and have some more theories.
I know. Send us your theories and predictions. Drop them in the comments, DM us, email us. I want to hear what you guys are thinking and what you think of our wild predictions. So let us know what you think.
Maybe not all of mine.
Yeah, maybe, not all of them. We're throwing stuff at the wall, people, and we're excited to speculate on these final 3 episodes of season 3. We only have 3 left, and a lot of questions.
The final run.
So we'll be back for episode 6 of School Spirits next week. I'm also covering Tell Me Lies on Hulu on this same feed. Another crazy show. So very different, but just as crazy. So be sure to check that out. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. We would love your 5-star review. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube. We post some different stuff on there, so you'll want to subscribe there and buy our merch on Etsy. Thanks for listening.
Bye.